these lines from a parent. Being a special needs family can feel isolating at times, and you, the nonprofit that we are going to speak to today, are like a big hug from the wider world. That is what Joshua's Stage, a nonprofit that provides enrichment programs for individuals with a wide range of special needs, does. They have after-school programs, camps, workshops, online programs, individual enrichment programs, and, well, let's find out more. Hi, I'm Tej, host at Chezuba Talks. Extremely honored to share stories of inspiring nonprofits and their phenomenal leaders. Today's nonprofit, Joshua Stage, is the product of Joshua Levy's combined experiences and passion for enriching the lives of individuals with special needs. Recognizing that there was a limited number of programs specifically for special needs individuals in the Austin, Texas area, Joshua answered a call to combine his background and experiences in creative writing, acting, teaching, special education, and project management as he founded Joshua Stage in March 2016. This is a quality enrichment program specifically designed for special needs children and adults, featuring after-school programs, summer camps, workshops, online programs, including activities such as theater, improv, arts and crafts, and he has developed the creative outlet method, which is what he is going to explain to us in a while. And he runs programs at Joshua Stage. He teaches informal classes, is an assistant adjunct professor at Austin Community College. He's the president of Joshua Levy Educational Consulting and the proud author of the Creative Outlet Method. It is an at-home activities book for children with special needs. Welcome to the podcast, Joshua.
Thank you, Tej. It's fabulous to be with you today.
I'm very excited and very curious to know what you are helping with special needs. Already, special needs children require so much specialized care. And when you talk about the creatives and you talk about wanting to include them in everyday activity, what exactly are you doing?
We are providing at Joshua Stage a warm and welcoming environment for special needs individuals, including folks with autism, ADHD and ADD, Down syndrome, other intellectual developmental delays, speech and language disorders, other special needs. We welcome everyone, and folks who are typical developing as well are welcome to be at Joshua Stage. We provide a warm and welcoming environment so that we find each individual's unique abilities and strengthen those to the extent possible. We have a ratio of 3-to-1. So our participants have that environment where they're supported, where they have the opportunity from our caring and qualified team members to provide the opportunity to demonstrate their creativity, increase their self-confidence, and build their social skills, all while having a great time getting that creativity on, using some really unique and innovative positive behavior supports that are included with the creative outlet method. And it is so much fun, and it works, and everyone's having a blast. We absolutely love it.
Yeah, I saw the pictures on your website and they look pretty happening. If I can use the word here, when you say activities like theater, arts, improv, music, dance, are these children enjoying it because the activity itself is enjoyable, or do you think that these children have a special ability to perform or you know manufacture something?
Tej, the activities are designed for participants to find their creative spirit as the activity is happening, as our team is encouraging them to become maybe a unicorn looking for Cheerios in the dark emerald forest, or they can let us know who they want to be as terms of a character goes, especially in our create a story activity where we ask our participants who they want to be, what they want to have happen, when they want the story to happen, and where. And we put on costumes and act that out right on the spot. And then sometimes we'll take a picture of that story that they came up with right then and there and we build a script. Nobody has to read, nobody has to memorize lines, and everyone gets their own script. All the lines are highlighted. Sometimes the scripts are written in a narrative fashion, so that it might be something like, and Spider-Man walked across the castle to go find Princess Peach, and suddenly, and then meanwhile, you've got the actual kiddo running across the stage going to look for Princess Peach. Sometimes we have actual dialogue. Again, we're looking to celebrate each individual's unique abilities and celebrate that to the utmost extent possible.
Wow. But tell me, do you have children that are so cooperative that there is no mistake at all, or do mistakes happen and it is all taken in the flow of events?
There are no mistakes at Joshua Stage. The show
Wow.
must go on. We don't actually make children perform if they don't want to. We sometimes,
Uh-huh.
if they want to sit in the audience with their family during a performance, that is awesome because we have our unique positive behavior supports include the three audience types, the A plus audience, the B audience, and the funky fools. So we encourage our participants to be that A plus audience. So we'll simply ask if they would like to be an A plus audience member to model for the other parents to be A plus audience members while the performance is going. So we have other opportunities if a participant feels a little anxious or nervous and they end up not wanting to perform, that's quite all right with us. In
Mm.
terms of mistakes on stage during the performance, we're pretty good about improvisation. We teach that throughout our program as well. So we certainly can adapt and adjust accordingly and make the best out of those moments. And that's quite all right.
Well, that sounds very cool and very, very accommodating also. Uh, I'm sure there are benefits to participation. Do you see these benefits immediately, or it takes a period of time? And do the parents see it? Do you report it? Do you evaluate this performance?
Yes, 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 and yes. We see participants who come to us ready to rock and roll and do all their creative magic right away. At the same time, the next participant right next to them could be very reluctant. Maybe they're anxious, maybe they're shy. That could be because of their special needs. That could be
Mm-hmm,
because of just
mm-hmm,
who they are. Sometimes some of the adults in our program start off a little reluctant and hesitant and shy as they're getting to know us, getting to know each other, just like the participants. And I'm telling you, in real time, I'm watching those participants break out of that turtle shell with sometimes within minutes and sometimes within a week, sometimes within a few weeks. And it does happen. The growth does take place. And we do evaluate, we do ask parents at the end of a program how they felt that their child did with the expectations they went in with. We asked them if they felt like they demonstrated their creativity. We asked if their
mm,
self confidence improved. We asked if they
mm.
felt like their child's social skills improved as well as a byproduct of what we do at Joshua Stage, just by nature of all the group activities and the kids respecting each other's personal space, whether that's sitting on the floor in the welcome circle or moving around in our performance space quickly during some of the more engaging hands-on activities. And again, we have our positive behavior support system to let participants know when it's time to come back. So we'll say, hey, everyone says, hey, what? Then we'll say A plus to your spot by 3, A plus to your spot by 2, A plus to your spot by 1. Great job. You get a round of applause for being A plus. That's fantastic. Sometimes we take that a step further with our Ferris wheel round of applause with our right hand up, left hand up, cross them in front, pat on the back, and a round of applause.
Wow, that sounds like so much fun. And I'm not surprised you have so many kids coming to you with parents being so happy with your, Joshua stage. Uh, have you included this program in schools? And are you approaching this only for special children or also for regular children?
The original design and the vision that I had in September 2015 was specifically for the special needs population. We certainly welcome all abilities. So, folks who say, hey, my kid doesn't have a formal diagnosis, they're typical developing, can they participate in your program too? Sometimes we see that with siblings who want to join their brother or sister who may have special needs, and maybe they're that extra buddy for that sibling, and we sometimes end up empowering that individual who has
Yeah,
difficulty
true, very
development. They could
true.
be
Yeah.
6 years old, 7 years old, and they serve as a volunteer sometimes in our program. So it works out really
Mm-hmm.
well. We do approach the schools. We can go
Mm-hmm.
to a classroom, conduct a workshop at a classroom. We often do that while we're working with special needs individuals or typical developing as well in the classroom. Sometimes teaching assistants part of that classroom help our team out. Sometimes they can be kind of just hanging out if they want. Just kind of depends on the circumstances. So absolutely, we go to
Yeah.
schools. Yes.
Yeah. So it's a win-win situation for both, isn't it? For um, school children and for special needs children.
Yes, it's a program and a concept that works for everyone, whether you're 3 years old or 120 years old. We're going to make this work for you.
I think that's the beauty of the creative and the arts, where everybody comes out of their shell and is able to express himself or herself.
Yes,
Now, dealing with this kind of a situation must be a challenging role, isn't it? So, can you explain the role of the instructors and the facilitators at your organization?
absolutely. Our instructors, we look for folks starting with compassion. We want to find people who have a compassion for working with youth and young adults who may or may not have experience working with special needs youth and young adults. As long as that we can start with that compassion component, we have training, we have onboarding, we have the creative outlet method includes working with the instructors as a team. Also, the method includes working as ourselves, and then we can go ahead and work effectively with the participants. So if we can find folks, or when we do find folks with that compassion, maybe they have that background working with kids, young adults, maybe they've had background with a sibling who has special needs. We find that often.
Mm,
Sometimes they'll say, yeah, I grew up
mm,
with a brother or sister who had autism, and I was often the sibling who had to help them, or we're still working with that in our family. A lot of our volunteers share with us those experiences as well. Sometimes we do have instructors who do have quite a background in special education, or they have worked with special needs children and adults, and sometimes they also have an interest and or a background in theater or music or dance and
mm,
photography.
mm,
So we of course welcome that. Sometimes they have an interest in it, but maybe they haven't. Sometimes we have folks who do improv in the evenings at an improv club, and that's always fun. So with our training and with that warm and welcoming environment that we provide for the participants, that's also what we do with our team. So we want our team to feel empowered. We want our team to feel positive. So in
yes.
turn, they can feel confident and give that same amount of wonderful emotion and share that and exude that with our participants. So the participants feel confident, the participants feel safe, and everybody, including our team members, our volunteers, our parents, and our participants, of course, have permission to be silly.
Yeah, that is of utmost importance, being silly. And you're allowed to be that, isn't it? That's what
Yes, we are.
makes us.
Let's take a break to understand what Chezuba is. Everyone at some point ponders on how this beautiful life can be made more meaningful. Maybe you're a leader trying to enhance your employees' experience at your organization. Or you already work for the community and seek volunteers with state of the art skills to strengthen your nonprofit. Whatever your situation, know that you can make a difference. Chezuba began with this very vision, a vision to facilitate every skill and every passion in the world in meeting a social need. Corporate volunteering has several benefits for both businesses and organizations. In parallel, experienced and enthusiastic volunteers join NGO workers, enabling them to serve the community more effectively. Chezuba offers everyone looking to add purpose and meaning to their lives a chance to connect or volunteer virtually with nonprofit organizations from over 100 countries around the world. Visit www.chezuba.net and explore opportunities to find meaning. Chezuba, your platform to do good. And now, back with our guest.
I wish there were more schools that incorporated dramatics or creative arts or being silly in the classroom as normal. Do you think that schools today are too pressured, or teachers today are too pressured to, you know, teach to the textbook or teach to the test?
I think the academic needs to take place. That academic achievement is what school is. At the same exact time, it's important that schools also are recognizing and implementing anything they can do to recognize the social emotional learning component while they're teaching academics. So we can tap into every student's unique abilities, where their interests are, their desires, find that out, develop that meaningful rapport with each and every student in our classrooms, then it makes the world of embracing and teaching academics and the individual child learning that, whether we're in a classroom of 5 students or 20 something students, it can be done. It absolutely can be done with that mindset from the teacher thinking that all these kids in my classroom can learn. They might be learning at a different pace. There might be some pressure for that teacher to say, well, I've got to teach all these things in 1 week, 2 weeks,
Mm.
3 weeks. That's okay. Lots of schools have support systems in place for students who need that extra time, who need a little extra pat on the back to move along through the curriculum while they're still understanding it. And I think, again, getting into that social emotional learning component definitely is crucial to academic success in any school environment, whether you're preschool or whether you're postgraduate program. Heck, I think they should do all this fun stuff in doctoral programs. Why not? Have a good time.
Right. Yeah, that's true. So, what is the age group that you have with you currently?
We work with ages 3 all the way through, you could be 120 and you could come to our program. So
And how
children and
many kids
adults.
do you have
It
today? How
varies.
many kids?
It varies. So we try to take a program and do our best to have no more than 12 participants at a time. Sometimes we go a little more than that, just kind of depends on maybe there's a sibling, like we talked about earlier, maybe somebody that we know from another program and we feel like they'd be a good fit for that group of participants at the time. And sometimes the minimum number is anywhere from 4 to 6 participants, we kind of find is that magic number to really make a program work. And again, we
Mm.
keep that number small so we can do our best as a caring and qualified team to get to know each and every participant where they're at for their unique abilities as they're interacting with their fellow participants and interacting with us, and as the team is interacting with each other. All these factors, all these variables, all leading to these amazing moments of fulfillment for the participants, the team members, the volunteers, and the parents, whether that's during the session, especially at the showcase where our participants have the opportunity to perform and that unique original story they came up with the previous session that we put together as a script. Sometimes we do a creative song that we give them some music in the background and we encourage them to come up with great song lyrics that go with that and we practice that. Sometimes there's even a choreographed dance. When we do photography, we'll help our participants print out their photographs and they can present that as a photography exhibit either on their own during the showcase or one of our team members can stand next to them and help facilitate that process.
It's beautiful. You've got everything under the sun to in the creative arts. Really. So, when do they showcase this? When do they learn? When do they practice? And when do they showcase this?
Our showcase in summertime, every Friday afternoon, we have a showcase. We have week
Every
long
Friday.
we
Okay.
have week long programs, so every Friday is Showcase Friday. And then throughout the year, when we run a 9 week program, typically those are on a Saturday or a Sunday. Each
Okay.
session of a 9 week program is an hour and a half. And at the end of the 9 week session, we have the showcase where we again do the original play based on the creative story. We also have, if there's a original song or original dance, sometimes that story ends up becoming a musical production. We'll write songs within the story. We'll have some little dances going on, even if it's the chicken dance, which is just fine. We'll certainly put
Yeah.
that in there as well sometimes. So we have a lot of fun. And it always depends on who's with us in that session, who's with us at that group. And again, we're going for those unique abilities and celebrating them to the maximum extent possible so everybody feels excited and energized while they're doing our program and activities and while they're at the show.
Yeah. Wow. So, do you also take these productions as such, the big scale productions, or is there a copyright issue there? Do you have to have your original productions?
All of our work is original. It's based on the participants' original ideas. So when we write a script, usually it'll have the title that the participants come up with, and right underneath it, it'll
Mhm.
say by whomever the team member that's writing the script at that time,
Oh,
or
that's
Joshua
so nice.
Stage. We print it out for the participants. We send it home with the participants. They can have it as a souvenir. We oftentimes ask them to sign their name for an autograph session at the end of the showcase after we've given them their certificates and we're enjoying some juice boxes and cupcakes to celebrate the remarkable achievement everyone
Yeah.
successfully accomplished in a given week.
So you make them feel like celebrities.
Absolutely. Roll out that red carpet. Yes.
Oh, wonderful. Well, what are your future goals like? Where do you see yourself, 2 years, 3 years down the line?
I see myself continuing in my role as the executive director for Joshua Stage. We're at an amazing moment in our program. We're looking to scale our programs within the Austin, Texas area and beyond. We not only have physical programs taking place, we have online programs as well. So we're expanding into the international realm. We have folks from Canada sometimes joining our programs online. We just recently, as of last week, completed a program 2.5 hours away from Austin, Texas, led by fabulous team members with 13 participants, and everyone had an amazing time. So we are truly scaling, and our operational ability to do so is there, and we're excited about that. For me, I'm continuing to network and fundraise for Joshua Stage so that these programs can continue to scale. We do have a sustainable model. So to continue with the feasibility, we've got this amazing project we're looking to launch, or we're launching, pardon me, in this endeavor we're calling Project Encore, where we plan to have over 1,000 participants between today and by
Wow.
September 2024, whether that's in the Austin-based area here or and elsewhere, participating in what we call our theater arts and more programs. Those are the 9-week sessions I was describing to you. So for us, because we
Okay.
don't have our own location, we certainly go find
Uh-huh.
other places, such as it could be a college, it could be a university, it could be a school, it could be a church. A simple classroom is enough for us. It doesn't have to be on a stage, although that's always fantastic, and we love that.
Hmm.
But we can make anything
Yeah.
a performance space, and we have wonderful opportunities to continue with that. Oftentimes, we pay rent, not always, so we have to factor that in, making sure our amazing, awesome team that they're compensated, and then any materials that we need. So that's truly where most of our costs go,
Effort.
and that
Yeah.
fundraising will help this grow and scale. So I see myself continuing to get this endeavor even bigger, so we can serve
Well,
more people.
exciting times.
Yes, very
Yes,
exciting.
exciting
Thank you.
times ahead. Well, I wish you luck with that and best wishes. Joshua, as a parting question, do you require any volunteers? And if anybody wants to help you out in your organization, how can they approach you?
We are growing our world-class volunteer program. One of our team members is a fantastic volunteer coordinator. And yes, volunteers, depending on the location, once in a while, someone might say, hey, if you're with us, we can only have people 18 years and older being on the team or volunteers. We respect that. That's fine. Sometimes that's not the case. So we have volunteers anywhere from 9 years old to even older working or volunteering in our program. So we on board, we train, we're growing that program so they can provide us feedback, we can provide them feedback. So yes, we welcome volunteers as well.
Right. Do you require virtual volunteers?
Do we require what? I'm sorry.
Virtual,
Yes,
online.
our online programs do have volunteers as well. The program that we have called Lifelong Learning with Friends for students who are 18 years and older with intellectual and developmental delays. Those are 6-week post-secondary classes that we offer every semester, and they are led by a paid instructor, and then we have volunteers to support these students in that program as well. And those volunteers are typically undergraduate or graduate students who want to help out and make a difference and have a fulfilling experience as well.
Well, you can explore Chezuba. You can get a number of volunteers. They're happy to help you out with your exciting plans.
Thank you very much. We welcome that.
It was wonderful talking to you, Joshua.
Yes, you as well, Tage. Thank you very much for having me today.
Commitment to being supportive goes beyond providing services. It covers a genuine desire to empower individuals with special needs to lead fulfilling lives. And by embracing their unique abilities and nurturing their potential, they feel valued, respected, and supported every step of the way. So we have organizations like Joshua Stage who are helping them feel valued. Thank you very much for all that you do, Joshua.
Thank you. It's very humbling. I appreciate you.